Hello to all of you again. This is Pabel A Saunders coming to you from the beautiful islands of the Bahamas. Alright, today I'm going to go a little bit into myself. Alright, because I think it's going to be a help for many to understand that I haven't always been the person that I am. Alright, and I grew up in a really hard environment, a really hard life. Alright, basically, it wasn't always like a peaceful walk for me. And it was far from it. I grew up really tough. I grew up in a life whereas, actually my father accidentally, killed my mother at the age of, and I was a kid, they were basically having a disagreement, and he pushed her and she actually fell and hit her head. All right, and she died. All right, I was about 4 years old. And basically going through the process of life, I grew up with my grandmother, who was extremely poor at that point. So she tried her best to do everything she could, but we didn't always have the best of things. So I was teased a lot for my shoes, for my belt, for my pants, whatever it was, that I didn't have the same stuff that everybody else had. And my grandmother, she worked really hard to make sure that we did. She went through the process of doing that for us. So the thing is persons feel like, they see you and they don't know that you've passed through a life. And I went through that with her for, until I was to the 7th grade, and I went off to school. And then my father, he came out of jail and kind of was like still on edge and, going through his process of changes, which I must say to you, I have no remorse against my father. I actually do love him. I care about him, and we have a great relationship today. But I'll get more into that as we go along so you can understand why. All right. But definitely, we went through some stages of, whereas, a lot of fighting, a lot of stuff like that. And I got to the point of where I was 15 years old, and I decided, hey, it's time for me to get out. I left, and I ended up on my own at 15 years old. I was working at a place in Abaco at that point. It was Hometown Harbor Lodge. I was a waiter there. I lied about my age a lot. And then I got there and I started to be a waiter at that place, and I went to school in the day and I worked at nights. All right, and I actually decided, I was very close with the owner of the restaurant, and she decided to rent me a place that the chef used to use when they hired chefs to come in. So I was there for a while, and then a chef came in, so I had to find another place to live. So she invited me to live with her at that point. And I did babysitting and all this other stuff, and I did that for a while, until I got really rebellious in school. I made a lot of bad choices, hanging with the wrong crowds, did a lot of stuff that I wasn't proud of, and I ended up getting kicked out of school. I didn't finish. At 12th grade, right before graduation, I got kicked out of school. All right, and the thing is I ended up, on the streets. I ended up hustling, selling drugs and doing the things that everyone else was doing at that point in time. So I got involved with the wrong crowd. All right, and I ended up down a really bad road. I've even been to prison. I've spent time in hard jails, like in Jamaica. I spent some time, a good bit of time down there, and it was really rough. It was really rough. It would show you what you're made of. All right, because a lot of stuff that happens in those third world countries don't happen in our country and many countries around the world. All right, but long story short, I came to a point of whereas I was out of jail. I came back home, and it was just a point to where it was time for me now to start earning some money again. I had a trade. I was an electrician for many years, but work in the construction field had died out, and it was starting to really slow up. So it was really hard to get work. And the thing about it is, being a person that, from my status, it was really hard to get a job. I had already passed through many jobs that I had quit on many times. I never lasted on jobs. That was the thing for me. I had a thing against it for many years. I had a problem with authority figures. All of these things is things that I had to learn to deal with. Persons wonder what makes me qualified to go into the details of many stuff, but I've just evolved myself. I've grown myself through many things. I've learned from many things, and I was able to bring myself to a point. So it just came to a point that, no job, there was nothing else for me to do, and I really had to find something because, I had a family. And someone introduced me to network marketing at that point. I didn't even know what it was. All I knew was she said that I only needed this amount of money to start, and it's working for myself and so forth, and that was it. That was all I needed to hear. I learned that I could get access to these products, I could sell these products, make a profit, and so forth, which is something that I was good at. So I said yes, I'd take it on. I didn't have the money to join the business at that point. So what I did is I asked the lady to give me one of the brochures that they had. And I went from door to door starting to sell the products before I was even in the business. I earned the money from selling the products through a pre-ordering system to buy my way into the business. And with me buying my way into the business, the products that I sold came into my basic package at that point. And that's how I got in. It was $300 that I needed to come up with. And that's how I got into that business. The thing about it is it's been a ride ever since. And that was 5 years ago now. All right, today it was 5 years ago. And today I've grown tremendously. I've explained in other videos telling you how much it's done for me and so forth. I just started to read a whole lot of books, and getting myself enlightened. I expanded my mind and the vision of where I was and where I wanted to go. I started to improve myself, self-development, my growth, and everything else. And then that became a better focus for me. And then that focus itself helped me to expand. I started to learn international business. I started to meet, many persons from different parts of the world that really added to my development as well. They taught me tricks here, they taught me stuff there, and so forth. The education was vast. The thing about it is I learned, like I said, sales and marketing to, an advanced state, guerrilla marketing and so forth. And, it was just extreme in all the areas that I was able to learn and grow. The developing part of it came from network marketing itself, because in order to be successful in this business, you had to grow, you had to learn. If you didn't expand yourself, then you would conk out. And I knew in myself that I was, prepared for everything, because the life that I've lived and passed through and was able to get over so many things, I'm quite confident of the person that I was and the strength that I had inside, and it made me see that I was way stronger than I thought, and it helped me to keep growing in that aspect of understanding that strength and developing it. All right. But I share all of this with you because I want you to understand one thing, because I know there are many persons out there that has been through the exact same life, and they have lives that they feel like there is no hope. They feel like there's nothing else left for them to do. But there is other areas of you taking those lemons and making lemonade. If you've been through a process of things, that process has made you stronger than the average, because you've actually been through some stuff. And in going through that stuff, you could use those lemons that you've obtained in yourself. Use that lemon of a life and make lemonade from it. Turn around and make that strength, useful to you. Because everything I touch, I go at it extra hard, because I've been to many bases of extreme emotional stuff that has really helped me to see how strong I really am. All right, it's like not being able to know how fast a car can go because you never really push the pedal to see it go. And many people have never been to extreme measures in their lives, so they're not prepared. They're not prepared many times. And I'm not saying you have to go through extreme measures to be prepared, but I'm saying to you, if you've been through them, no matter what aspect you can look at. And I've only breezed over my life. I've been through so much that it's really hard. I can write a book, okay? And it's really hard for me to sit there and tell you all of it in the time that I want to keep this short. But I share with you because I want you to understand the fact is that you still have a chance to turn your life around and do what is necessary in order to make something out of your life. Don't let the outcome of things that has happened develop your future. Your choices produces your outcome. All right. And once you've learned that and you accept it and you start to make better choices throughout your life, you can produce a life for yourself that will develop, the life that you want. You are the creator of your life, and you have to believe that. All right. And once you start to take that strength within your hands, you would be further ahead, and you would start to use that life that you passed through and make lemonade from it, and sit back one day and enjoy looking back at all that you've been through behind you to get to where you are today. A lot of persons make it to a point of where they're super successful when they've passed through many burdens, and some allow it to be, whereas they use it to feel sorry for themselves. I don't feel sorry for myself. All right, I don't. Not one bit. Not one bit. At this point in my life, I'm grateful for everything. I'm thankful that I survived the challenge, and I'm also thankful to know that I'm still here. I'm thankful for the life that I was given, and I want to do the best I can with it, expand it, and be greater. I'm not worried about what persons think about me, and what they think about my past and so forth. That's on them. Those who can't handle it, it's on them. All right. But I'm gonna use all I can to share with you for all that I've learned, so that you can be a better person, so that you can learn to get outside of those boxes, make your mind right, and do the things that is necessary to turn your life into what you would want it to be, greatness. All right, to let your greatness expand from inside of you, because there is greatness in you, and you have to believe that. All right, you have to know that. I don't care where you come from. You could have come from the bottomless slum. I don't care what you've been involved with. I don't care what has been surrounding you. You can still do great things, and you have to believe it. You can still add value to this life. Each and every one of us has something inside of us that we can deliver to this world to make it a better place. Many fail to govern themselves, and many feel that they can't, but you are able to govern yourself. You are able to learn, because if you can learn to do all the wrong things, I guarantee you through practice you can learn to do a lot more of the right things. It's just a base of understanding. Life is all perception, because when I was in a different lifestyle, my perception of life was a total different thing, and now that I'm in a different lifestyle, my perception is totally different. All right, so you have to change your perception, change your mindset. Negativity is a disease. Do not allow it to consume you. Do not take your positions and make it a place of whereas you sit there and feel sorry that you've been dealt this hand. You're not dealt a hand in life. It's the hand you choose, because if you don't choose to work your ass off to change it, then you choose to sit there and just live in it. And that's a fact. Believe me, I have done it, and I'm continuously growing out of it. I'm continuously changing my life to be what I want it to be, and you can do the same. All right, so I've shared this with you today because I wanted to add value to you. I wanted to be a help to somebody out there, to encourage you to stay strong, stay focused, get your mind in the right aspect, change the way you think so that you can change the outcome of your life. If you're consistently doing the same things over and over again and expecting new results, then that's the closest thing to insanity. Make your mind up to know that it's time to make a difference. And if you don't, then you're going to find yourself constantly hoping, and only losers sit around hoping. All right? Winners make things happen, because when you know what it is you want, you dig deep and you go at it with everything you got. You choose the life and the path that you want to take. You make sure that it's beneficial to those around you. You make sense that it's going to add positive value to this world. You don't want to be a negative force, because from negative comes negative. Be a positive force that adds something to this world that can bring back some value to this life and makes others' life much more easier as well. This is why I share so much. All right? So I thank you all again, and if you found value from this, I'd like you to like, share, and comment below. Thank you all again. This is Pabel A Saunders coming to you from the beautiful islands of the Bahamas. Thank you.